Hello, here we are with an unboxing of the Utano T180 Barrier smartphone. You'd be forgiven for thinking this looks a little bit like the JCB ProSmart. It's based on a identical form factor with a few key differences which we'll come on to in a moment. So this is IP67 rated, it's waterproof, it's shockproof and it's dustproof. So this is designed for those that are outdoors in harsh environments. Don't want to stereotype but sort of builders and tradespersons, but it works for whoever you are in whatever environment. Even if you work in an office you could have this phone, but whether you wanted something quite so bulky. So we've got here that it's got Wi-Fi, it's got a micro SD card slot up to 32 gig, it's got Gorilla Glass, it's got a touch sensitive screen, it's got 3G UMTS, it's got Android, and the killer feature is the dual SIM slot that we have on here. So that's unlike really any device on the market at the moment. I know some do exist, but in terms of true smartphones with dual SIM, this is one of the first on Android, and it's rugged. So taking a look at the back of the box, you can see you've got a sticker on here to say it's on Android version 2.3.5. You're not going to get the latest version of Android on here, but nonetheless you get some reasonable specs. So you've got the dual SIM. You've got a 3.2-inch touchscreen display, 2000 mAh battery, standby time of 360 hours on single SIM or 120 on dual SIM. You've got 512 ROM, 256 RAM, you've got the micro SD slot, you've got a 5 megapixel camera as well as a 0.3 megapixel front facing camera. You've got your GPS on here, you've got your Wi-Fi, you've got your Bluetooth, you've got your G sensors, you've sort of got it all. So here are a few more of the features sort of highlighted on the side. So without further ado, let's get in and take a look. Now you can see straight away that it's orange, not yellow like the JCB ProSmart. If you have seen that, we'll come back to the phone in a second. Taking a look at what else we get in the box here. So we actually get some documentation. So we've got a safety precautions there in a few languages. We actually then also get a manual, which is quite rare to see nowadays, again in a few different languages, but just enough to get you up and going for the basics. We then get a micro USB sync and charge cable. Now do bear in mind that this is a specialist micro USB cable. Let's just get it out and show you. Because it's rugged, there's extra thickness around the edge of the phone, so you'll actually see here that unlike most micro USB cables, it's sort of longer because it needs to accommodate for the extra thickness around the edge of the phone. Actually supplied in this box is a 2-pin European mains adapter, and then there's a USB port on here for you to connect the USB cable into for charging. Now in time this will actually come with a 3-pin mains adapter. It's just this boxed unit we've got here showing that, and they've actually supplied a 3-pin adapter, but no need to worry there. We've then got the 2000 mAh battery, so that's going to keep you going for at least a day, if not 2 or 3 with the size of screen that we've got on this device. We've then got a carabiner for clipping to the device and what have you, into your clothing. You've got a compass on there, not quite sure when you're going to need that, but it's there all the same. You've got the Utano logo. We've got this sort of mini screwdriver, that's for undoing the screws on the back of the device where the battery sits, and then you've got this attachment here as well. And then finally you get a set of in-ear 3.5mm headphones. So taking a look at the device itself. So on the front here we've got a couple of sensors for light and proximity. We've got a speaker up here. We've got a couple of screws for the rugged sort of look. We've got the front facing 0.3 megapixel video camera. We've got the 3.2-inch touchscreen with HVGA resolution and the Gorilla Glass. Got a menu, search and back button. We've got a green sort of end call button, sorry, a green answer call button, and a red end call button, and in the middle here, this sort of grill looking thing is actually your home button. You've then got a microphone, you've got two more screws, and you've got this sort of rugged design all around here, and you've got this orange on here. On the top, you've then got the power button, and you've got the headphone socket. Now it's got a cover over it because it is IP67 rated. You need to have this protection against water and dust. So you've got a little screw. These are removable if you want to take this off. On the side, you've then got the micro USB connection, again under a cover there. We've then got a torch button, so you can use the camera flash as a torch. On the bottom there's nothing. On the back you've then got, on the side you've got a dedicated camera button, and you've then got volume up and down keys. Coming round to the back, at the top here we've got the attachment for sort of the carabiner and lanyard if you wanted to attach it to your clothing. We've then got the rear facing 5 megapixel camera with autofocus and LED flash. And here we've got the removable back cover, which has already been undone, and you can see we've got the screws here, and that's what you use this little tool for, to actually undo the screws and do them up. So we've got a few icons on the back cover there just to highlight some of the features of the phone and the Utano branding, as well as a loudspeaker. We can remove this, and under here we've got the micro SD card slot, so we can put up to 32 gig in there, and then we've got 2 SIM card slots. So we're just going to actually insert SIM cards into this. So this is the massive benefit of this phone. Dual SIMs, so you're not limited to just one SIM card in your phone at any one point. You can have a work SIM card and a personal SIM card in here at the same time, and you can use both at the same time. There's no limitations on this. So ideal if you run a small business, maybe you could have your work phone on the whole time, you can have your personal phone on the whole time. As and when you make a call or text message, you can choose which SIM card it uses. All you need to do is remember which SIM card is in which SIM card slot. So we're just going to boot this up for you. So just quickly run through the setup procedure here. We've got the Android figure that we need to tap, but we have got the ability to change the language of the menus if we wanted. So we go through here. Now this is where we could log into a Google account if we wanted to. It's advisable to get the full use out of this device, but we're going to skip it just at this time in the interest of setting up quickly. Go with the network time, so you can set your time and date here, and we get through to the Android home screens. Now if you've seen Android devices before, you'll be quite familiar with the home screens that you see on here. They're fully customizable in terms of the layout and the icons that you have on here. And I'm not going to go into this in too much depth, but I will show you a few of the things. So most importantly, we can see here we've got signals showing for 2 SIM cards. So we've got an O2 and Vodafone SIM card in here at the moment. Now on the home screens we've also already got some icons added, but we can press and hold, and we can add shortcuts, widgets, folders, or even change the wallpaper from here. Now you're not going to get the extensive sort of add-ons that you might on more expensive devices from Samsung, for example, because what's gone on here is this is just a pure phone for people who want something that is productive. There hasn't been so much focus on the higher end customization in terms of graphics. It's functionality over that side of things. So we've got the customizable home screens. Here we can't pinch or zoom out. Press the home key here to always be taken back. We can search by pressing the search button here. We can come back. We can press the menu button and go into the settings down here, and let's just take a look about the phone. So we can see that it's the model HWT18 running Android version 2.3.5. I think it's fair to say as well that this device isn't going to be the first in terms of updates, so if you're expecting to get all the latest version of Androids, this probably isn't the device for you. It's all about the productivity of this phone. So we've got the applications that we can scroll through. So we've got the standard sort of things installed, from the calendar to the camcorder and camera application. We've got a gallery, we've got Google search, Gmail, navigation, messaging, voice search. And then this is where it starts to get a bit more interesting, because it is dual SIM. So you've got this USIM toolkit, and you can see that it's picked up card 1 and card 2. So if your network provider or SIM card has any additional settings, you can go into each one of these and deal with some of the customization you can here. So you can see that in card 2 it's coming up my Vodafone, and then in card 1 it's got the details relating to the O2. So you can set all of this up from here. Now let's show you the phone side of things. So you've got the on-screen dialer, but most importantly you can see that you've got 1 and 2 identified here. So if I was to dial a number, I dial in the number I want to ring, and then I select either 1 or 2 to actually make that call. Now when a call comes in, it actually comes up on screen and says which one it's coming in from, so it'll identify either SIM 1 or SIM 2. And then in your call log, whilst we have none to actually show you here, it'll again identify which SIM card the call was related to. And the same principle applies in messaging. So if I go in to create a new message, I've got my full keyboard here, but you can see 2 icons, the 1 and the 2. Now if I just type in some gibberish, so now I've got a recipient, I've got some text in there, and you can see that the icons have now highlighted in yellow to say that it's available to send either via 1 or 2. When I've got no text in there, it goes back to sort of the grayed out, because I can't actually send anything. I've got voice dictation on here if I want it. I've got more settings and options. They're quite extensive. We'll probably do another video with a full detailed software tour. The other thing I will draw your attention to is in the settings menu, you have got this multi-SIM settings option that you don't see in other Android devices. So you can click into this and you can choose which SIM card you want to be the primary SIM for when you connect to the internet over data through your mobile phone provider. So if you're not on Wi-Fi, you choose which SIM card. So it might be that you have a SIM card in here that is just for calls and text messages, and the other SIM card is purely for data and connecting to the web. And all you need to specify is which SIM card you actually want to use, and it will use that SIM card as the gateway for connecting to the internet. You can also sort of switch each SIM card on and off here by tapping it, so that'll actually deactivate them or activate them, so we'll come out of that. But other than that, the general operation is like many other Android devices. So be sure to check out more videos on the Clove blog or the Clove YouTube channel, youtube.com/Clove Technology. Thanks for watching.